Let's dive right into this.
Control.
Skill-based matchmaking, or SBMM, is a hot topic. A flashpoint that divides more than it brings, gaming communities together. People tend to be on one side or the other. If you want the truth about SBMM, here it is. There is no right or wrong answer about SBMM. It has its good and bad points, much like everything else. SBMM is subjective, meaning your way of view of it is based on your feelings, your opinions, or your tastes. To be fair, I will do my best to be objective, and I ask you to do the same. As gamers, casual or hardcore, we all play for different reasons, and sometimes those reasons change day to day, hour by hour, depending on our moods or if our friends are playing. If they're playing solo or if they're playing with friends, it does affect how we experience SBMM. So before we get ahead of ourselves, we need to look back and explore the basics. What makes us enjoy the game we are playing? Is it going to be full-on beast mode and dominating lobbies, game after game, pub stomping enemies into submission? Or is it, being a great support player, helping your team to victory? Is it the challenge of shutting down the other team's top player or securing the objective? Are you going for personal bests? Do you enjoy the sheer thrill of competition? No matter what, we all enjoy the games we play for different reasons. Given that we are all have different ways we enjoy games, our interpretation of SBMM will be different. And I'm sure we have all heard the phrase that I just want to play a game and have fun. I don't want to sweat every match. I just want to use a fun loadout. From time to time, when we first started playing the game of our choice until now, our skills have improved. Now here comes the harsh truth that very few, if any, address. The easier something is, the quicker we become bored with it. As time progresses, many move on to something else unless, they're sufficiently engaged. The lore and sweet, memories of games of the past is real. That dopamine feeling is real. The gaming landscape has changed. From times where you bought a game on a disc with everything included to add on map packs, to games as a service models. Gaming is a vast business. Keyword, business. This industry has grown so much from what it was when companies just made great games for people. Now game developers have a far larger corporate structure to answer to, investors, etc. Games are made with metrics in mind, profit over passion. One key metric that drives profit is engagement. SBMM is a subset of engagement. The longer a game engages you, keeps feeding you your dopamine levels, the better chance a game has to get you to spend on in-game products like skins, shaders, you name it. Every so often, games mention that they're implementing SBMM to balance the competitive aspects of lobbies, no matter the game you're playing. In actuality, they're trying to maximize your engagement with the game. They're trying to find that sweet spot where you are challenged just enough to keep playing but not leave. The longer you play, the higher, the better chances they have that you will spend actual money. Now, sure, some people will leave at first, at the first mention of SBMM being implemented, but how long do they really leave for? Totally? Not really. They come back. There's an initial uproar of complaints, it dies down, then after a while the developers remove or scale back SBMM. The community rejoices, players praise this and flood the game again. Yay! The players have their win. They say that the companies listen to them. But do we really? Developers still gets their engagement metric. They use that data and use it to tweak their matchmaking algorithm. I like to call this SSBMM, or soft skilled based matchmaking. They call it lobby balancing. We can argue word semantics later. I will use Destiny 2 for this next quick example, but I'm sure there's a third-party app that works for COD as well. If you go to Destiny Tracker after you play a couple of quick play matches and click on the game results, you will see right under the match, score a small section where it states, alpha or bravo. had a blank percent chance of winning. Go ahead and take a look. I've been in matches where I've been on teams with a 7% chance of winning, a 25% and 54% chance. And I've noticed that, this pre and post skill based matchmaking, I do not pretend to know, every last quantifiable item that goes into the formula. The best I can do is present this in layperson's terms, which I'd be most interested to find out, what your results are. So with all that being said, we have to face the reality that games in general have become more competitive, as that particular game becomes more and more popular, and also as its player base grows. Contributing to that competitive growth, are content creators that further educate players on how to be a better player, how to use the most broken or best loadout, etc. The base level of our skills as a whole has improved vastly over the good old days, with repetition and knowledge. To be honest, SBMM has not stopped us from using, whatever loadout we want to have fun in the game. The game does not lock down what weapons you can use when SBMM is enabled. If you play an FPS type of game and there's, a sweaty tryhard running around killing like crazy, how does that stop you from using, whatever loadout you want for fun? What stops us more than anything is our own ego. We want to get back at that player for killing us. Only now we have to change up our loadout to do so because the sweaty player is using the best of the best. Here comes the dopamine. Here comes the FOMO. Here comes the I need to get what that player has in order to complete, to get payback. The engagement metric has worked its magic. The manipulation is subtle, but it is there. If we could let go of our egos, would SBMM be so polarizing? We all have that one really chill friend that hops on and does not care one bit at all how many kills they get or where they are on the leaderboard. They're just having fun playing with their friend. So be honest with yourself and ask, why you want to get that god roll weapon. SBMM and lobby balancing is not going to go away. As long as there is money to be made and engagements to be had, it will be there in some form. Manipulation is not always overt. You buy any skins lately? Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's your time, and I thank you for sharing it with me.